This entire series offers a lot more than the stereotypical YA characters, stereotypical YA plot, stereotypical YA what else? Like characterization and etc. It offers a lot of things. Hey there, it's Riz and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am a small booktuber from Davao City, Philippines, and I also upload faith-based content every once and a while. Medyo matagal-tagal na rin since nag-post ako ng video about anything about books. And this time I'm gonna be sharing to you my experience reading Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. So a little bit of backstory. Nabili ko yung dalawang na to mga, I guess 3 months ago or 4 months ago. And sinimulan ko na siya actually. I was about like 20 to 25 pages through on Six of Crows. But then, I-realize ko na kailangan kong huminto dahil I found it overwhelming finding a lot of characters and there were a lot of things going on sa first few pages pa lang ng Six of Crows. And so, I realized that I had to stop and just let it sit for a while, do a little bit of research and whatnot. But then, I found no time and no motivation to restart reading it over again. So fast forward a month later, roughly a month later, this girl right here was browsing through Netflix recommendations, alright? And here comes this suggested Netflix series called Shadow and Bone. Okay, and I managed to click through the first app just to see if, it would fit my taste or if I'd enjoy it or whatnot. So I clicked through it. Yan. And on the first scene, there was this guy, Mal, and other girl, Alina, who were talking about money, etc. And they mentioned about Kruga, Krouge. And I was like, this is kind of familiar. And that time, I wasn't reading it as Kruga pa, actually. I was reading it as Scrooge. I searched the term online and discovered that it was the currency, one of the currencies used under Grishaverse, okay? So the world of the Grisha, which is the universe that these two belong to. Okay, so I browsed further and discovered again na Shadow and Bone pala was the first book published by Lee Verdugo under Grishaverse, okay? Under the same universe. So I was like, why did I have no single idea about this? I had no idea that the books are gonna be turned into Netflix series. So, okay, so moving on. Yun kasi yun yung nag-research. Yan. But moving on, mabilis lang naman tayo mag-move on. And I figured out that I just have to sit back and relax and enjoy the whole series. Okay, so yun na nga, natapos ko siya in just a matter of 14 hours, 15, 16 hours, mga ganyan. And because of that, hindi ako nakatulog ng maaga, I guess. So, context lang, I go to bed about like 9:30, 9:15 p.m. And by that time, just because I chose to binge watch the whole thing, finish the whole thing, I managed to sleep at about 11:30 p.m. Yeah, for me that was kind of late already. And yeah, worth it ba? Namuntik na ako malate to work. By the way guys, I go to work at about like 6:30 a.m. I leave home by 6:30 a.m. So that was kind of risky for me to do, but I did and I managed. And was it worth it? I would say it was worth it finishing the whole thing and not being able to sleep for like 8 hours. Okay, so going back, I'm also sharing to you guys what it feels like, or let's say, yung pros and a little bit of cons if you'd finish the Netflix series first before reading the book series. Alright, so in this case, ito kasi yung nangyari sa akin. Ito yung ginawa ko. So, I watched the whole Netflix series first, then read the kasi nga hindi ko naman siya natapos. Okay, restarted reading the Six of Crows. Okay, and what was it like? The good thing about it is that because of the Netflix series, I was already familiar what the Grishaverse is like. So, ano yung world nila, ano yung premise ng mga cities, places, ganyan, ano yung commerce nila, ano yung politics on it, ano yung, let's say, not really nationalities, let's say nationalities that universe, okay, and Grishaverse, ano yung Grishas. Okay, so magiging familiar ka na with the terminologies and of course the characters, diba? So that's one pro. Kasi diba, going back, the main reason why I stopped reading Six of Crows was because I had no idea what was going on and I had no idea which is which, sino yung mga characters na yun, blah 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 blah. So if you were to finish the whole Netflix series first, then decide to read the books next, I think that's one pro. So you get to be familiar with everyone, with everything, with every place, and yeah, the plot generally is kinda, ano ba, it wouldn't feel alien to you anymore kasi you had a lot of, you had tidbits of what's going on already on the series. Alright, so, yun, aside from dun, another pro is that, speaking of tidbits, okay, so on the series, there were like subtle hints of what was going on between Kaz and Image, and for sure, makukulangan at makukulangan ka. Actually, I wasn't able to like spot right away that there was something going on between the two. Yeah, I wasn't able to spot that kasi parang I was like, okay, ganito lang. It wasn't giving much, I would say. But there's this friend of mine who said na actually, I kind of figured out na may something between the two. I was like, no way. There's no way you're gonna figure it out na may ganun pala. But, yeah, anyways. So, if nakulangan ka dun sa chemistry nila on the Netflix series, if you decide to read afterwards, for sure, mabubusog at mabubusog ka dun sa what the books are offering you with. Okay, so if dun sa Netflix series, all they were just offering was tidbits and tiny hints of everything. Dun sa libro, isasaksak nila sa'yo kung ano yung kailangan mo at kung ano yung gusto mo, which are, the chemistry of Kaz and Inej. By the way, there's no like, there was like zero skinship between the two, I tell you that. Another pro is that if you were someone who is kind of hesitant on reading YAs this day, around adult fiction, I think watching the Netflix series first would make you think twice. Okay, so it would make you feel na this entire series offers a lot more than the stereotypical YA characters, stereotypical YA plots, stereotypical YA what else? Like characterization and etc. It offers a lot of things. So if you just watch the series, Netflix series first. You get the idea that it offers so much more. So kapag later on, you'd see na, oh, maganda naman pala. And if you decide to read the book series next, your prejudices will just like go right straight to the bin. So mawawala at mawawala yung mga yun. So this time, let's talk about what are the cons of watching the Netflix series first, then reading the book series. One con is that you'd no longer have this like own picture, own idea of what the characters look like. Dahil you are already presented with the how do you say this? The visuals of the actors on the Netflix series. And when you get to read the books second or next, you wouldn't think about the characters the way they are described on the book, but instead you think about them as the actors on the Netflix series. I don't know if it's a con to you, but to me it's kind of a little bit of a con. Alright. What else? I couldn't think of anything more. And because I couldn't think of another con, I'm going back to another pro. Okay, I'm gonna give you another pro, which is, you know how it usually feels like when book readers finish the whole thing, then here comes a movie adaptation. And after they kind of finished the movie, they find it unsatisfying, and they realize that it was unfaithful to the book series. So if you are going to choose to, dahil you do not have this kind of standards first, okay? You do not have the book standards, or you don't have this idea that this book is so good, and so by the time that you watch this series, you'd have no like standards of what it should be like, what the characters should be like, and what should the plot be. So I think that's another pro. Yeah, I couldn't think of any cons anymore. And because of that, I'm gonna end this video right here dahil medyo maingay na din yung bahay namin. Dahil ang daming ganap dito sa bahay. So that's it for this week's content. Siguro by next content, I'm gonna be sharing to you na lang rin the my experience on reading Crooked Kingdom, maybe a little bit of book review of this too. And yeah, abangan nyo yun. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Kahit pa medyo maraming ganap dito sa bahay. Yeah, thank you for being with me. Thank you for spending time watching this video. Muli, ito si Riz, laging nagpapaalala na patuloy na magbasa, magsulat, at magmulat. God bless.